Hello, YouTubers and all those after watch. Hope you're all doing quite well nonetheless. So this is a update for the Spark and Orbs of Storms build I'm working on currently, sort of going off the cuff with. Now, I figured out the rhythm of how you're supposed to use this build correctly. It's sort of like a guessing game for me personally on what to pick. So far I figured out the following, is that it's really effective for bottlenecking. Like, it's the most effective means of bottlenecking. However, the most important and crucial thing for this build is the move. Like, don't stand around for too long. I mean, sure, that can save your butt there for a while, the brain fart here, energy shield, but over time that's not going to last too long, especially with these hard-hitting enemies or enemies that can shoot through that and just hit your health normally. So, I'll break it down what I got equipped here after I kill these enemies. Now, what I have equipped is the following. Now, again, this is not going to be finalized. I'm still sorting through what I like and what I dislike. I'm just using a pair of gloves here that should be easily upgraded in the future times to come. Currently, this is a increased critical strike support. So 1.32 critical strike chance with a 64% increased critical strike chance, which is actually pretty good, especially for the sparks. It procs quite often because so many of these projectiles moving at once, so I thought it would just make sense to keep doing that. So with that said, I also have Herald of Thunder equipped to this as well. Why, you've seen there when I was walking around. When I walk around and use this spell, and I'll read off the spell for you here, is channel through lightning, blah blah blah, but if you look down below where the stats are, where it says 1 to 208 lightning damage, 64 increased critical strike chance, it has 1 to 18 lightning damage to attacks, and 1 to 18 lightning damage to spells, 1 to 3 chance to critical strike chance. So there's a lot of critical strike going for that. There's also, you know, it doesn't take a lot of mana either, so it's like I'm not getting hurt that way doing that. It's a pretty darn good spell or aura to use, and I just generally like using it, especially if I'm doing builds like from mixing it up with the lightning arrow chick I like to use, and that it just works so darn well, especially with arrows like split arrow and lightning arrow. Oh, it's very good damage. I use discipline by default, like I just use that. It's such an effective means. Now what this does is it gives you an aura, a 9% increased aura to affect radius. So when I have that equipped, basically it helps out, I believe anyway, this is on theory paper, this is not confirmed 110%, but helps with my Orbs of Storms, helps reach out the aura, or the effect range, as you can see right there, quite large. If I were to unequip that, let's see, toss it down again. Let's see, toss it down again, because I wasn't paying attention. So about the same. When I throw this orb down, again, as I was explaining about it earlier, if you stand inside the orb and shoot that, or at least shoot a, you know, lightning, such as spark or whatever, it actually gives you a couple more projectiles and increases the damage a little bit, so it gives you more proc for your buck. It's a very effective combination with Spark in that. They nerfed it, though, a while back, because obviously it was a little too overpowered. Like, I'd agree it would be a little bit too overpowered. And I was hitting 2 the whole freaking time. So, whoops, I had my inventory open, I was picking that up. But, yeah, I also have this equipped right now, which I'm going to be switching this out afterwards, because I don't have 48 dex. I mean, it's just because I think it's one of my things I've equipped here. I can't remember. Was it that reason? No, those were all int. So yeah, I'm gonna eventually have to switch out the chest piece, get something with better slots, and you know, whatever else. I primarily go with blue and red for slot pieces. Um, Unfortunately, I can't switch out this boots right now, even though they're pretty decent, because if I do that, I can't use the chest piece.
I haven't quite the finesse for this.
Wait, what? Oh, I understand why. Hold on. I was just like thinking about it. I was like, wait a minute. How come that ain't working correctly? But yeah, that was why. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much they're backing off or on top of each other's back, so to speak. So it's not as easy to use. I have to switch that haste. And by the way, this is what happens when you use that. This is not very good. Like, this isn't a very good idea. Hold on. See, pro tip: don't ever use.
I have nothing more to give.
See, I can't do that at all. But I was thinking about the build. I was like, man, what if I could run like haul ass and use this? But that's not a good idea, effectively. It's a great spell otherwise, but unfortunately, it doesn't quite hit the spot when it comes to practical use. I also have, what is it? Lightning Warp, which has some decent damage attached to it. By decent, I mean pretty good. You know, it doesn't do like a massive amount versus your typical static spells, but it's good if you're jumping away from a horde of enemies and some of them kind of linger off towards you. You can kind of get a couple of them, but not kill them, but soften them up. So all these spells I've been thinking very carefully with. I've been saying, okay, how is this going to affect the other builds? How is this going to synergize? Well, I didn't quite hit that door like I wanted to, but I have to pop that down. Another one of those won't hurt. Can't double up on gems, but it's still kind of cool. We got another one. Alright, let's see. Ooh. That's a nice, that's actually what goes with what I need. I'm trying to look for a one with an extra slot in it, though, so I'm on the hunt. Why don't you love me, baby? Why don't you love me? Whoa. That song in my head now. Even though I kind of butchered some of the lyrics a little bit. But you know what I was talking about, or so singing, so. If you don't, I don't know. But, I guess it's up to you to hunt. Someone says to themselves really quiet, I don't think he knows who he was talking about. To be fair, I forgot the damn name of the band. So it's a fair trade. Because I'm sort of multitasking and my brain does not pay attention to details, so therefore I forget. I'm pretty happy with the results so far of this build. It needs a lot more refinement, it needs a couple more items, or a lot more gems and slots, and perfection adjusted to it to make it work really well. I am pretty happy with the set abilities and everything attached to it. I'll show you the tree here and what I did with that after I killed these apes. Or this ape. So far what I figured out with this build is I went for this D right here, or this Shield of Hearts. I left one alone for now, just that way I can, I was ping-ponging off of damage, health, damage, health, damage, health. So right here, I went for this with the Scion. So if you're gonna try to copy this build, then just go like down this, and there you go. Like try to do it every other, so that way you have enough focus on damage too, because it's important to have damage, because you're not going to be able to kill anything, and having all that health won't really mean as much. And you also survivability, but you won't be able to survive as much right off the bat. And most enemies don't survive that long anyway in earlier chapters or acts. Alright, switch that back to the lightning warp. Where is it? There we go. Actually, not lightning warp. Orb of Storms. My finger sometimes slips over and goes like that by pressing the middle mouse button here. The middle mouse button, but the little mouse button on the side here, which you use to scroll, whatever, for like web pages. So I use that to do that. Or otherwise, if I have my finger where Q is, because if I'm trying to potion spam to keep alive, then I don't have to worry about too much. The build itself is actually turning out really well. Early on, it isn't quite as strong until you start getting the right equipment.
This tower says it all. Pride.
A nice looking tower, though, I ain't gonna lie. I'll give a lot of credit to this dev team for the graphics. You can see right there the orb is like facing this direction, so if I go like this, kinda... Hey, no, it wasn't the orb, it was me. Oh, okay, never mind. Never mind, I was giving them too much credit for what they deserve with that one. It's still a good job with the animation effects and shit, better than anything I can do, but... So you basically pop the orb, and then just hang out in it. I mean, you can survive for a little while if the enemies are like minor like that. These guys hit like trucks. Oh, minion one. I was trying to remember what the hell that was. I easily forget shit, so it's like I have to constantly remind myself of things. Like the way that mace looks, I ain't gonna lie. I think I might as well finish off the third chapter while I'm doing this playthrough, so... Oh. These guys right there. Those guys right there. So, I mean, overall, the synergy with these two works so darn well. Let's head up to the top here, or head up more. I forgot how many levels there are total in this tower. I never paid attention to it. I think it's like 4 or something. Like Like the ultimate test is fighting the final boss here with this build. That's kind of why I'm also continuing on the video. I was thinking about it, I was like, you know, it'd be a really good test just to get to that point. Holy good god, that guy is hitting me like a Mack truck. Whew. Collect my brain matter there. Okay. I don't know why I'm fighting too many of these enemies. I can just kind of run by them. I mean, I'm almost leveling here, but... Here it kind of reminds me of like a Bloodborne or a Dark Souls style level. Always thought about that. I mean, though the enemies aren't, some of them don't quite look like that. But like those ones that are kind of staggering towards me, those guys, I didn't even read their names, but those zombie type, kind of like them. Like something from Dark Souls. The Archivists, the Undying ones. See, with games like this, most of the time people kind of memorize their names of most enemies. Like, oh yeah, that's you know, fill in the blank. And I usually don't. I kind of just kill them and not care. But sometimes an enemy looks really intriguing. Then you kind of look at him like, oh, what's the name of that one? You know, so you kind of try to research it. So when you try to explain to somebody else, oh yeah, this enemy right here looks pretty cool. You know, and they're like, what the hell are you talking about? I was gonna walk away until I saw what kind of monster it was. I'll stop for a few of the rare mobs, but otherwise I'm just gonna run by most of them. Unless I absolutely can't get past them. Oh, there's a rare mob. Kill him? Is he dead yet? Did I win? Or did he run away? Well, I guess he ran away or he's dead. I didn't pay attention. Alright, so now we're gonna go towards... But yeah, effectively this build is very cheap to make, like it isn't too expensive right now. It's also pretty fun to play, it's pretty sporadic. Got the checkpoint, awesome. I can farm this place after. Yeah, see, the thing I'm doing right there right now is not a good thing to do. Like, I'm standing still too often, which is not a bright idea. Because if you do, then you'll grow into that habit of just standing still, and enemies will just wail on you. And most of the enemies in the higher difficulties can one-shot you just easily, like not even thinking that they'll just smack you into like a puddle. sitting here for a second. Doesn't seem like nothing's going to come after me. Alright, so go towards the top, which I was going to originally. See, I also got access to two different sphere circles here. Something's like cursing the shit out of me over here, it seems like. I got that, which I'm going to apply to. Then the next level, I'm going to... no, I wasn't going to do that one. I was going to finish off that, and then the rest I'll just work on this, and wherever the heck else I was going. Once I have more energy on my brain, I'll figure out what the hell that is. It was somewhere close. Yeah, it was that one. Oh, that's what was making that noise, that creature. I'm curious here, let me see. I couldn't see it proc poop. Like it went to 300 for a second, and I was like trying to see why it was doing that. Maybe because one of the enemies did something to me. Oh, can't see it anymore, so whatever it was. That's a nice death bow. Not really. It's just I'm just gonna bend her.
Dead.
Thank you, RNGesus. So you gotta say that. Every time you get something, you pick something up off the ground, you gotta say thank you, RNGesus. Because if you don't, RNGesus will find out, and he won't give you shit anymore. And you want that shit. So you gotta thank him. You gotta be thorough with that thanking him. Like, you just gotta be on the ball with thanking him. Like, you can't just stop and be like, oh, I'm just not gonna thank him. You know, you gotta thank him. As soon as you see that thing drop on the ground, you go, thank you, RNGesus. That's all you gotta do. It's a quick thank you, and the drops will keep coming. People just get shit and go, oh, I got this already. You know, and they just... Thank you, RNGesus. See? Look at that. Look at that. Thank you, RNGesus. Really, actually do thank you very much, RNGesus. It's actually not too shabby. That's a tough choice. Let's see. 75. one's still a lot better, but unfortunately it screws over my boots. My boots that I have in my inventory right now, I want to use those because they have more slots, are a little bit better. Oh, that's a trapper. Holy shit. And it resists lightning damage too. Like, holy crap. If I would have stepped back an inch, I'd have been done. Like, he would have just... Some of these new mobs are pretty cool, though. I do like some of the little effects they have. I mean, they're old stuff. Some of it's old, but in the newer stuff, I like new combinations I haven't noticed before. Are a little vicious. It's good, too. It's like it keeps you on your toes. That's tempting.
Far too much baggage.
Because of the percentage of elemental on there, but I'll sacrifice it. I gotta hurry up and get to the boss. Yeah, if you run through this entire tower, do you get some decent experience points? Like, not nearly enough as like you go into the bottom of that lake place and at the bottom of that ocean level. It's in chapter or act 4. My friend Jeremy turned me on to that one. He pointed that place out, and I was like, alright, so I tried it out, and I was like, oh, this is a pretty good place to farm and do all that. A lot of enemies. They're really, like, a lot of static enemies are there, so it's like you can farm it for days. And as this is a game that, you know, it does instances based on you solely, unless you're in a group of people, then it's, you pretty much you can go there to your heart's content and just farm the hell out of it. Yeah, the rolls aren't nearly as good. I'm trying to find a plain scepter that has, you know, past 30 for the, that's 30, yeah, 30, then whatever. And I can get those lightning socket items there, those usable item, or redeemable items, and then turn into a lightning staff. The reason why I'm doing these videos so long, by the way, it isn't because I'm able to do so with the YouTube thing. It's just because I like to show the depth of how the class plays, how it works. Or if I'm just playing the game for longevity, it just shows you a good length of what the game's like, too. So if you end up liking what you're seeing and you got a good eyesight education with it, like you just go, hey, you know, this guy plays shitty, but at least the game looks good, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, that's why I think the importance of most people who stream video games like this should have that exercise or that right to. I mean, it isn't about people making money off these people's games anymore. It's about people pointing out these games in the first place. Because you have so many sleeper hits. I mean, there's websites like Twitch that do a good damn job, too, of showing off these games, but... Because you have these people with, like, personalities, whether you hate them or like them, they you know, they provide a service where they entertain people and they show the game and its longevity, whether it's an educational experience or just a flamboyant slapstick moment from people. Either way, it's just, it's a good education. You know, educate the masses and you'll put seats in asses. That's what I say. You know, I just made it off the top of my fly just now. I don't really say that often. But, alright, the stairs. There's the boss. It took me 30 minutes. Got distractions and... Alright. This boss is pretty cool.
I offered the gift of Exile. You used it to reinvent yourself. I couldn't wish for a more fortunate stone.
That guy's like belly flop my ass. You guys acting like he invented me. Man, I looked this meta build up online. No, I'm kidding. I did look up the 2 skills required. I was trying to think of a Scion build, but... Fuck. Fuck your totems, woman. Get your chin. See, I can kind of take it on the chin a little bit with this build, but I also have to retreat to get... Oop. Oh, he's hauling ass.
Have you ever seen the true face of God, Exile?
Yeah.
Die!
Far too much baggage.
Oh, fuck those things. Fuck those things in the ass. Oh, no, you don't, asshole.
Nightmare prevails! The light of divinity! The light of divinity! Die!
Don't get me wrong, he's a pretty damn cool character, though.
The light of divinity!
He's gonna transform into some, like, super monster.
World is an illusion, Exile.
Far too much baggage.
Fucking Bray Wyatt over here. Gotta hang in close with this guy, unfortunately. Because he does like to say this rain spell, I think, just wipes your ass out. Bat. Some HP Lovecraftian shit.
Can I not have but a moment's respite?
Oh, there he goes again.
I prefer the view from where I'm standing now, Dominus.
Hey, girl.
You have mounted the summit of the Empire, not a cockroach. You have crushed the bug Emperor and wiped his maggot dreams from the skin of Rayclast. Dominus exiled you, naked and alone, unto the palm of death. But you would not die, would you? No. No. You cuddled death, promised it the world, made it your consort, and so generously shared it with all your fleeting friends here in Rayclast. Not once did you forget what you were. Not a cockroach feeding on the corpse of a dead empire, like the pests you crushed as you walked. A woman. The sort of woman that planted the seed of this empire right here in San so long ago. What teetering and twisted life it still holds dear, this land owes to you, Scion. Of course, there will be more. You know that, don't you? Emperors. Avaricious little pests scrabbling to steal the legacy of their betters. Unless we burn that legacy, sear its infection from the flesh of existence. Go north, my lovely unbug. Go to Highgate, to the beginning of the end. Dive headlong into the nightmare sea. Catch and roast yourself a nice big fishy.
Sitting on a park bench. But yeah, that's the build and an example of feats. I was able to clear at least the normal difficulty, monster slash dude slash whatever.
I've killed the puppet. Now I just need to follow the strings to his master.
But there you have it. Pretty darn good build. Needs to get better, so I'm going to go ahead and do so. And I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I'll be doing more clips of this soon. Take care.